Who were some of your inspirations growing up that got you to become a football player?
Just growing up, I love Jason Taylor, because I'm a Miami Dolphins fan, so just watching Jason Taylor, he's my favorite player of all time, my defensive player. Right now, my favorite player is Cameron Wake, so I watch him, I try to learn from his moves, and that's who I try to look up to.
How would you say your style, aside from that young man that you mentioned before, how else would you describe your style of play?
Speed, really, because I've always been undersized compared to other defensive ends, so I've always, tried to work on my speed and use that to my advantage.
Were you always a defensive player growing up, or did you ever play offense at all?
I did play offense some. I played a little bit of tight end, but defense always been where my heart was, so that's usually where I focus.
How big of an influence were your family to you growing up and helping you to become the man that you are now and the athlete that you are now?
Huge. My parents, they're a big part of my life. They both played. My mom ran track, and my dad played basketball and football. So they've always, been there to help me with athletics, been to all my games, supporting me. So that's been a huge part of my life.
If you ever needed advice when it comes time to being an athlete, being an athlete and playing in athletics, do you ever call your mom and dad and be like, here's what's going on, and I need advice with this?
Yeah, sometimes because it's a stressful sport. Football, injuries, trying to compete, get spots. So I'm always calling my parents, ask them, how I should handle a certain situation. Just, having them calm me down a little bit when I get too worked up, because I'm a really competitive person. So when I get too worked up, they bring me back down a little bit so I can focus. So
I'm sure, when you got out of high school, you probably had a few choices. What made you decide to choose Fordham, and talk about your time here at the university?
It was really just the feeling that I got from the coaching staff on my visit from the team. It was really like a family, and the coaches really made you feel like they care, and they really do. And that's really how it's been being here. I love my team, love my teammates. They're my brothers. It's crazy how close we've gotten. So that's been the best part here. We're really a family.
Talk about, I guess, the evolution of you from day one as part of this team to this point in time right now. Do you feel like you've evolved at all, improved in certain aspects of the game? Talk about your evolution as a football player.
Yeah, definitely. I'm still working. I'm definitely not where I want to be. I'm trying to work on my shooting, putting on more weight. That's been my biggest problem, I guess you could say, is putting on weight. That's always been my problem. Coming from high school, I was a 180-pound defensive end, so that's all. I'm always working on that every day, trying to get better. But I see myself, slowly getting to where I want to be, but I'm nowhere close to where I want to be.
For those young athletes that are out there that are watching this, what have been some of your techniques to gaining weight and gaining muscle? What have been some of your techniques to do that?
You really just have to be committed to it. That's really what it is, and just making sure you're getting the right amount of meals a day and eating the right things. You can't just eat. See, I'm eating 10 cheeseburgers and think that's going to work. You have to get all the right type of proteins, all the right type of fluids in you, and you really have to stay committed to what you're trying to do.
Now, I understand, there's a very intense conditioning program that comes with being a Division I athlete. Is that correct?
Yes, very, very. Especially with our new strength coach, Tim Ream. He's been great in getting the team in shape to where we need to be, and we're continuing to work on that. But it is an extensive program, but it helps you get stronger mentally and physically as a player.
Can you talk a little bit about the balance of being both a student and an athlete? Because for different places, it's different between the Division III level to where you are.
Right.
Talk about the balance for you being an athlete and a student.
The biggest problem, I guess, would be just time management, but the academic staff really helps with that, with study hall and getting tutors and things like that. So they really help you manage your time. And with the football schedule, you only have a certain amount of time to do your work. So you really have to make everything you have to get in that time. So it really helps you with the football schedule and balancing your athletic. That is actually a positive.
Do you find that sports helps you be sharp mentally when it comes time for that balance?
Definitely, because it goes hand in hand. On the field, you have to study your plays at night, getting in your playbook, and you have to do what you learn out on the field. And it's the same thing in the classroom. You have to study, get in your books, and then perform in class. It's the same thing.
What would be a fun fact about you that not many people would know?
Fun fact, I played the saxophone since I was about 9 years old. And I used to tap dance.
Nice. What was that like, tap dancing? That has to be incredibly difficult.
Yeah, that was cool. I did it in high school. Some of the guys on our team, we did it our senior year. It was fun.
And just how would you say your teammates would describe you?
Probably goofy. I would say that was my personality. I'm fun-loving guy. It's the same on the field. I like to fly around and have fun. I mean, I love this sport, so I just like to have fun.
When you're not playing football, what are some of your hobbies?
I like to, just be with my friends. I'm really a friendly guy. I like, just hang out, play PlayStation, stuff like that.
What are some of your goals this coming year? The team won a championship last year. They played very well. What's some of your personal goals, and what do you think some of the team goals are?
Like I said, increase my strength. That's what I'm always working on every day, getting stronger, getting better with my technique, and just win another championship. I want 4 rings when I leave here, so that's the goal, and that's the team goal every year.
What do you think that means to you as an athlete to, be able to win championships? What does that mean for you? And, when you look back on everything, what do you think all that would mean for you?
It's a great feeling. Before I got here, I've never won a championship before, and winning that championship, it was an unbelievable feeling. I broke down in tears on the field. It's a feeling I can't even describe it. It's great.
And any message for the fans at home that are watching this?
Just thanks for always supporting us. I hope you guys come out and support us this season, and go Rams.